IMSA fans, we had a really amazing dedication last night here inside Sebring, looking back to World War II, where this entire facility was known as Hendricks Field. This is where B-17 bomber crews were trained. This was truly a big part of the World War II effort. After that turned into this race course that we love, but there was one building that was left. This being the Officers Club, and thanks to IMSA, some many fine folks there. Wayne Estes in charge here of the track. A whole group came together to rebuild this building, and it is now being used as a big part of event hosting and celebration. But it was a big dedication last night and some great stories told, including those by our friend IMSA President John Doonan. Why don't you take a listen?
What does this mean to the Sebring International Raceway, and even more importantly, the history of what this stands for?
You know, John, when I came here...
And by the way, my hair just stood up on my arms.
And mine too. I got here 9 years ago, 8.5 years ago. And you ride around the property and you see the dates like 1941 stamped into some of the things that are here. You see the tracks of the old hangar doors that are still right here on this racetrack property. You can find the remnants of the swimming pool. If you look hard enough, you can see these things.
Yeah.
And this building, though, it was a neglected building. Yeah. It had been used for many things over the years. It was just kind of a squatter's hut. Yeah. And when the storms come through and do the wind damage that they do, we were on the verge of losing this building. Yeah. And I think it was after the dedication of the flagpole last year, the whole restoration of that area, and the warm reception and the enthusiasm of the fans, and Ed Bennett was a part of that, and when he rode by this building, he says, we need to do something for this building.
I know, obviously I spend a lot of time with Ed each and every day, and I know what doing this project meant to him personally, but more so just looking at the overarching meaning of what this ground that we stand on, that we race on, and what it meant to the country and to those who served. It's incredible. And the work that's been done in here, I walked in and I said, period, correct. Like all the decor that Ed and your team chose for the building gives you the feeling almost that you're back that era. I know that was important to everybody.
It was. We had a staff sergeant, one of the recruiting officers came in here just last week, walked around, and he walked in and he says, I've been in Army bases all over the country. When you go into the Officers Club, this is what it looks like.
Then we hit a home run, right? And the artwork's incredibly special. And in fact, one of the photos that has just the tail of one of the bombers sticking out of the hangar. You know, as a kid, I watched the 12 Hours of Sebring and remember the cars going by that hangar, and no one maybe remembers the importance of the race going on, but that hangar, and it was just over to the east.
Yes, I mean, it's just an unbelievable thing. We have with us tonight, Jan Davis is here. So she was an astronaut. She flew on 3 space shuttle missions.
Yes.
Her father trained here.
What an incredible story.
And tonight she is wearing a necklace that her father gave to her mother while they were here in Sebring.
Oh, that's incredible. Let's talk a little bit about what the fan experience can be now in this facility. Obviously, it can be used for private receptions and special events, but during the Mobil 1 12 Hours of Sebring, people can come here, pay, buy a ticket, and have an experience in here. What's that all about?
You don't want to have a building like this and then just set it aside. It's not a museum piece. It should be used. Yeah. And we are trying to stay in the spirit of what it was originally intended for, and still keeping the memory alive. Yeah. We want people to come in here, and when they come, it's not just about the hospitality experience and enjoying the race, but you also want them to remember what happened here 80 years ago.
Yeah, I just think throughout the process, from the furniture to the logo to the artwork to all the decor, you and the entire Sebring International Raceway team have captured the true essence of what this building represents, what the grounds represent, and what happened here. And when it comes to the race, I know what the racing surface and some of the character that it has means to the best road racing drivers around the world. And now to have an icon like this almost is like a cherry on top. And congratulations to you and the entire team. I know Matt Muha, I know Elizabeth Worley, everybody put a lot into this. Again, Ed Bennett, David Pettit, one of my IMSA teammates. It was a total group effort as always, and I'm hoping that fans for years and years to come can experience this here at the track, and whether it's the 12-hour race or all the other weekends that we have events here, especially the community as well.
It is a great gift to this community. It's a great that we're able to save a piece of this history.
That's great.
My father was a B-17 pilot, and after he got his wings, he came here to do his combat crew training in the B-17, where they brought all the different positions, the 10 positions in a B-17, they brought here to train together as a crew. And I have a certificate, which I sent to Liz also, his graduation as first pilot from here, basically, combat crew training. And my mother had her 18th birthday while he was here, because he was here from September to November of 1942. And she came by train to visit him for her 18th birthday, and he bought this necklace for her here in Sebring. Ferried his, actually was a YB-40, but he flew B-17s also over to England, where he was stationed, and he was shot down on his 7th combat mission, was a POW in Germany, actually.
Oh, I'm sorry.
In Germany, at Stalag Luft 3. So he was a POW for 21 months. Wow. But I'm here because he was a POW, because if he had stayed flying, I probably wouldn't be here. Because B-17s in the early part of the war didn't have the fighter escorts, so they were kind of like sitting ducks. But anyway, I want to thank you, Wayne, and the others with the vision to put this together. It's heartwarming to me because he was here. I know he was in this building, and I don't know of any other place where I know he was here. So it's a real legacy for the future, and people can remember what Hendricks Field was all about before it was a Sebring Raceway. So I really appreciate all of you doing that and for inviting us here today.
Just for fun, earlier this evening, she and her husband took a little ride in a Stearman biplane. Al took her up in one of Al and Jay's blue toys, and you said that meant something to be in these skies, that you knew that your father flew in.
Yeah.
That's very great.
And we drove in today and we heard the cars, on the track. Just imagine with, lots of B-17s in the sky, also a different kind of noise. And so that came to my mind too, that, it's still alive here, which is great.
Make sure you follow along with us on IMSA's official YouTube channel, and follow IMSA Racing on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and X. We're going to be doing some pretty cool stuff with some pretty cool people with some pretty cool race cars. Visit IMSA.com to hear the action called live, and download the official IMSA app to follow the timing and scoring information as the sessions take place.